If you were to ask me, Destiny, why do you make jokes against Islam? I would say because I don't like Islam. I really don't. I hate the religion.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's Salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please also check out the description section of this video to support the channel. I was sent a Twitter, or should I say X livestream, which featured degenerate pro-Israel liberal Destiny, as well as cultural Muslim Myron and Muslim reverts Tate and Sneako, amongst a host of other people. What made this debate particularly interesting was that cancel culture was being discussed, as well as the unreliability of the mainstream media. It's no secret that free speech is only allowed to be practiced on social media platforms and in the mainstream media in a limited capacity. Basically, you're allowed free speech if you speak from their script and you align with a group or take a side that they approve of. Destiny, as I said, is a liberal, a member of the rainbow community and a supporter of Zionism. He is of the opinion that the mainstream media tells the truth, or so he would have us believe. Myron, Tate and Sneako are moderate Muslims, are more conservative leaning and are straight men, and all of them have been cancelled or restricted on social media platforms in some capacity. I'll admit they have said and done some sketchy things that could be seen as treading a thin line between free speech and violating so-called rules on certain platforms, but so has Destiny. I actually think Destiny has said and done a lot worse, especially when it comes to making Islamophobic comments, but he seems to face no repercussions on mainstream social media platforms. Plus, let's be real, the so-called rules on these platforms are loosely defined and widely applicable just in case they need to use them to cancel someone and cover their behinds at the same time. Let's take a look at a clip of these individuals debating the reliability of the mainstream media and the fickle impartiality of social media platforms. The clip also features another cancelled gentleman by the name of Nick Fuentes.
When Destiny says, I think that the Palestinians should be genocided, ha ha ha, nobody looks at that and says, oh, he should be canceled. What an outrageous thing to say. Some people do, but he's on YouTube. He hangs out with Shapiro, Jordan Peterson. When I say something because I'm right-wing and it's outrageous, there's no charity. People pretend like they don't know what humor is. People pretend they don't know what rhetoric is. You know, that's just who he is. He's an odious person. Get him out of here.
If Israel controls the media, or how does that work if they all give conflicting accounts and reports? It's because they don't. It's because everybody relies on, people that are reporting on the ground. It goes through their media teams. They publish what they think is right. Sometimes people f*** up. But there doesn't have to be a top-down conspiracy.
There have been so many lies specifically about wars. It's insane that you would even bring that up. Just like the 40 beheaded babies. 40 beheaded babies. 40 babies and their heads are off. I can't believe it. And then they found out in December, after Israel had already invaded, after they blockaded Gaza, after everything, they said, oh, yeah, that was all fabricated. It's a complete lie.
I find it very interesting that a bill didn't get passed to get TikTok banned until what? Oh, it was overwhelmingly pro-Palestine, about 70 to 30% versus being pro-Israel. But once it became pro-Palestine and people became extremely critical of Israel, guess what? Oh, we got to pass the bill and get rid of TikTok.
If you were to ask me, Destiny, why do you make jokes against Islam? I wouldn't be a pussy and say, oh, bro, I'm just joking. I would say because I don't like Islam. I really don't. I hate the religion. Like, I would be honest about it.
Destiny, he openly says that he hates Islam and he's Islamophobic, and nobody pushes back. There's not going to be any articles. Nobody's going to write a bill to go and say anything about Islamophobia. But then Nick says his points, that he believes that race is real and he thinks that America's a Christian country. And then somehow that's the most banned position. That's the one that's going to get articles written about it. When Myron comes on stream and he makes jokes, they automatically try to censor you and say that you believe in this stuff. And they come on here, Destiny says that you must believe in, there must be some sort of secret motive that you have, some secret hatred. But no, these people just, we like to make jokes. We like to have humor. Destiny openly says he hates Islam, and guess what's going to happen? Nothing.
Listen, we all know that you have trouble paying attention. That's why you haven't learned anything about the religion you're grifting in for the past year.
You see what didn't go viral? Someone saying, I hate Islam with every fiber in my body. Nobody clips that, and it does not go viral anywhere. You see the clear hypocrisy, the clear double standard?
Destiny, I want to understand your worldview, because you and I have a different worldview, it seems. You believe that in China, the state broadcaster can just broadcast whatever it wants and whatever it discovers, or do you believe it has to work within an official narrative from the government?
In China, I think they probably have to work with official narratives within the government.
And what about in Russia?
Yes.
Saudi?
I don't know as much about Saudi media, but that would be my assumption.
But in the West, not at all, 0%,
Well,
right?
it depends on the country you're talking about.
Having a news broadcasting apparatus which told the truth, even if it's against national security interests, would not allow you to be competitive as a nation state. Do you think that we're going to allow that to happen just because we care about
The West doesn't run the world because they dominate the narrative. The West runs the world because they dominate it militarily and economically. ironically, because when the Houthis start firing missiles at people, it's U.S. destroyers that show up and save the waterways. You can say that like, oh, well, the media lies to everybody.
We never called them lying.
Okay.
Oh, we never called them lying.
The reality is that like, if you get caught doing these lies, you pay huge repercussions for it.
What have they paid for COVID? What have they paid for the Vietnam War? What have they paid for
the media coverage for the Vietnam?
I'll even match you another example. Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro, who's, I think, far more famous than almost anyone here except for probably Andrew Tate. Ben Shapiro, 20 years ago, was writing Israel should ethically cleanse Palestine. He wrote actually several articles saying these people hate us and we got to ethically cleanse them. The Ben Shapiro example is connected to Destiny. You may have noticed that lately Destiny has been getting bigger platforms. He was on a debate with Ben Shapiro, with Lex Fridman, with Jordan Peterson. I think that one of the reasons they're willing to overlook some of the disturbing things about his life or disturbing things that he said is because Destiny is one of the few pro-Israel leftists. Destiny, who lives a not conservative lifestyle, somebody who really is a fundamental liberal. Jordan Peterson smiles and sits with him in a friendly manner, and it's an intense debate, but in a very friendly way. Why is it that even conservatives will platform liberals, communists, in some cases Satanists? Those people are not offensive enough to a conservative to refuse their company. That tells you what's going on.
Yeah, Muslims are literally the most cucked religion online. They are the Muslims will cuck out to any celebrity. It's insane.
So this is what they do, right? They discredit Nick by calling him a white supremacist, an extremist. He's built on hate, etc. But that's not true. 3 of the people here on this panel right now are Muslims and he's friends with us. Here's the reality. People cancel him because he talks about Jewish power in the United States and Jewish influence in American politics, which is absolutely true. America is run by AIPAC when it comes to political situations, and Nick has been critical of this for years, and they don't want him to be able to put that information out. Now, after October 7th, people are seeing the light of who really runs this country from a political standpoint.
Destiny has a vested interest in covering up the fact that the mainstream media lies and that they push Israeli propaganda, as he himself is on the Israeli payroll, which he has admitted to online. I'll make it simple for you guys at home. Google any media outlet's name along with the word corrections. You will see a never-ending list of lies and mistakes dating back decades, which that particular outlet has reported. So Destiny, you're just plain lying like the media does. I heard Destiny say some really Islamophobic things during that clip also. If someone was to do that regarding the Jewish community or the rainbow community, they would be cancelled immediately. But for some reason, the same does not apply to the Muslim or even Christian communities. I don't know too much about this Nick Fuentes guy, but I have to say what I have heard has been negative. I don't agree with many statements of his that I have heard about, but in that clip, he seemed to be making some good points countering Destiny. He spoke about how Israel fabricated incidents to do with babies being harmed on October 7th, which the press reported, as well as how cancel culture favours liberals and Zionists. He also spoke about how Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, who pose as morally superior conservatives, will endorse degenerate liberals like Destiny, and even Satanists at the expense of their supposed conservative values, as long as it furthers the Zionist agenda. I think the evidence for that is out there for all to see. Sneako correctly spoke about the new bill that has just been passed in the United States in reaction to anti-war protests, which widens the definition of the term anti-Semitism. A lot of people are saying the bill has nothing to do with prejudice against a certain group, and I'm sure we can all agree that any type of discrimination is wrong. But instead, it is a tactic to silence pro-Palestinian voices, and Christians are also concerned as they feel it may outlaw their biblical views. Sneako's point was that there is a clear double standard, as the same thing doesn't happen with Islamophobia, with Destiny being an example of someone who engages in such language and views and again faces no repercussions. Tate also debunked Destiny's claim that the mainstream media have honest intentions by stating the 2020 virus and the invasion of Iraq are prime examples of massive lies being told by them, which they face no punishment for. You can't argue with that. And Myron made the point regarding a bill being passed to ban platforms like TikTok because of the massive amount of pro-Palestinian content on there. Bear in mind that TikTok, Instagram and YouTube are quite heavily censored already. He also said Zionist organisations like AIPAC influence the American government and media. I myself am facing restrictions on my channel on a much smaller scale, with videos being deleted and censored, and who knows how long my channel will stay up. But whatever happens, I'd rather go out knowing I spoke truthfully than selling out my values for clout. Cancel culture is tactical from the top down, regulated by government organisations that have agendas to push. Before they could push propaganda on TV, but social media has replaced television, which has changed the game. Meaning they may try to use social media to brainwash us with their narratives, but it is also being used to expose them and their lies in real time, and they're trying their hardest to stop that from happening by silencing people. Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this, and in order to guide and support each other in our deen. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.